So good afternoon, welcome here to Polo Line TV. It is final day here in Chantilly, and what a way to get started. The Open de France Feminine Final, the Ladies Open Final here. La Mariposa Polo team taking on TTR Sotheby's. We are delighted to be here on Polo Line TV. My name is John Kent, and this is the first of our 2 live games exclusively here for you on this blockbuster Sunday of polo here at Chantilly Polo Club. We've been building up to this day for the past couple of weeks, and what a first day. That is, of course, Nina Clarkin, you see lining up with TTR Sotheby's, one of 2 10-goal players, not only in the world but also in this contest. Hazel Jackson and Nina Clarkin. You see then La Mariposa, they line up Annalise Phillips at number 1, Nina Fraufen at number 2, Rebecca Walters at number 3, and Hazel Jackson at number 4. The 10-goaler play against TTR Sotheby's. Margot Guillemine, Laura Farrell, Lucy Taylor-Coddington, and then of course Nina Clarkin. Both sides 16 goals. 8 teams started off in this Ladies Open Championship here in Chantilly. The 2 for you about to take place in this final. John Fisher is your umpire. He has been wonderfully officiating all of these games throughout the Ladies Open here in Chantilly. And it is the 2 sides that deserve to be here that you are seeing take the field. They both cruised through the group stages, convincing victories. The semi-finals, they were tight. La Mariposa, they just won by the odd goal. TTR Sotheby's, they came through 3 goals to the good, but both of these sides then coming into the final in such good form and shape, ready for this big contest. Players then lining up on the far side. We will have a presentation of these 2 sides for you. You see Rebecca Walters and Hazel Jackson, a real double act for La Mariposa, as they have proved throughout this tournament. Rebecca Walters, 5 goals, very similar lineups as you can see, each with a 10, each with a 5, each with a 1, and each with a 0. Annalise Phillips over from the US, representing her side so well in this tournament as well. There is young Margot Guillemine, one of the most famous surnames in French polo, of course. The Guillemine family, so well known on these shores. Would mean so much to her being part of this French Open Championship game here this afternoon. 3:30 is our second game. You see John Fisher, used to both playing and officiating in these types of games, bringing the HPA rules as we are in this tournament, in this championship. And it is a packed house here at Chantilly today as well. We will just wait as well with the national anthem, the French national anthem, to be played before this game gets underway. It's also playing God Save the King, British national anthem, showing the international status of this game. So well represented throughout this tournament, different nationalities. As the players now do right out in front of you, you see Annelies Phillips there. She will be followed out now by Nina Fraufen, number 3, Rebecca Walters. The English player of 5 goals, and playing it back, of course, is Hazel Jackson, the 10-goal superstar of the ladies' game. They will come up against TTR Sotheby's. You will see, firstly, as I mentioned, the French young player Margot Guillemin. What a moment this is for her. Number 2, Laura Farrell, the 1-goal player. Number 3, Lucy Coddington, all the way from England, of 5, and her double act teammate Nina Clarkin, 10-goal player, long recognised as the very top player in this level of the game. Nina Clarkin, top scorer in the tournament at the moment. Nina Clarkin with 19 goals. Hazel Jackson just behind her off 18. So it will be, you fancy, one of those running away as the top scorer of the tournament as well. But more importantly, the final big tournament of the European season here in the ladies' side of the game. The Ladies French Open Championship. 4 chukkers, all brought for you exclusively live here on Polo Line TV. Really excited about this game to see how it goes. Expect to see plenty of work being done by the 3 players at the front for each side, giving those 2 10-goal players as much space as they possibly can to be able to make their way through the ground up towards the goal. Do let us know where you are joining us from. We are available on all of social media platforms. This game being broadcast live as well on our Facebook stream, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, now X, as it as known. Keep your eye out on this game. Like I say, the 2 top scorers, the 2 top teams. You can see all of those stats on the brand new Polo Line TV app, available on both Google Play and on iOS App Store as well. And then do catch up with all the news and the highlights leading up to the big final at 3:30 this afternoon as well. Aminara taking on Kazakh. The 2 Shavans, Benjamin Penelo, Katie Sen. They'll be taking on a very exciting Kazakh side. We've got a Hegi, we've got a Pires, we've got a Laule, all of the big names of world polo, those surnames out here in force later on. There will be a 3rd game as well over in Argentina, live on Polo Line TV as well. The latest action from the Jockey Club Open, the Thai Polo Cup. More on that as the day goes on. But here in this final of the French Ladies Open, the ball goes in play, and it comes straight out there for Coddington. Coddington called off a play there by Nina Clark, and expect to see these 2 staying really close to each other, and perhaps even closer to Nina Clark. And you will see Rebecca Walters so good at working for her team as Nina Clarkin sends the ball up the ground, looking to get an early goal here for her side, TTR Sotheby's. It's Nina Clarkin with the next shot up towards the goal, looking for a run there of Lucy Coddington just over the top, and Annelies Phillips, a little touch on the ball, sends it over her own back line. Good defensive play it was by Annelies as the ball goes over, and it will be a safety 60, but an early chance there. You see there Lucy Coddington just over the top of the bounce of the ball. The ball goes out of play off the defending player's stick. So a safety 60, and Nina Clarkin just having a word with her teammates. So it is going to be Nina Clarkin looking to make it goal number 20 for the tournament here. Always so well mounted, of course, Nina Clarkin. supported by her husband, New Zealand international player JP on the sidelines as the shot goes up towards the goal. Goes wide to the left-hand side, but a couple of early sighters to TTR Sotheby's. A warning sign for the La Mariposa polo team over from America. Strong fan presence watching them, joining them from Minneapolis. But it is going to be Hazel Jackson just bringing the ball into play. She'll have a look to see if Rebecca Walters can get any space out in front of her. Chooses to keep it close, going to burn around the outside there of Lucy Connington, but the pressure by Connington was enough just to send Hazel Jackson out again. Again, Rebecca Walters is close by, looking to support her teammate in any way that she can. Up the front of Phillips and Fraufen. Is it still there now with Rebecca Walters with the drive up the ground, just turning it up towards the 60. Back then defence was Clarkin over the top of a play. Phillips is going to get a touch on the ball. Good play there by Annalise Phillips, but it's going to be cleared away at the back, sweeping it away by Nina Clark and taking it out towards the boards. Closing her down quickly will be Rebecca Walters. The remit for Rebecca Walters looks very clear in this game. It's make life as difficult as you can for Nina Clark and try and give Hazel Jackson the space as Nina Clark just taps it. Still Rebecca Walters. Saying there that eventually the hit is going to have to come. The umpire, John Fisher, just watching over proceedings. Just one umpire out there in this Ladies Open final as Nina Clarkin takes it down the boards. Watching her closely. The first time the two 10-goalers come together, and it's Hazel Jackson getting the better offer, but the tail backhand only goes as far now as Lucy Connington. Connington takes it up over halfway line. Backed up there by Clarkin as it's going to be picked up here by Guillemine. Guillemine sends the ball up towards the goal. Margot, what a chance this is for the young player from France. Margot with the shot up towards the goal. It's going to go close and it's just rolling wide to the right-hand side. Big chance there for the young French player, Margot Guillemine. But it goes wide to the right-hand side, so it will be ball off the back line. But the pressure at the moment all coming from the TTR Sotheby's side. And it's there now with Hazel Jackson. Jackson taken up towards Coddington. Coddington beaten again there by Jackson. Hazel Jackson now running the ball down the ground. Coddington not making life easy. Over the top of the backhand. Jackson couldn't get a touch on the play. Good play there by Fuller just to take away Phillips, and it's sent down the ground. In a game of 2 10-goalers come together, and it's Hazel Jackson making her way back. Look how confident she is just to turn that ball back around. Taps it up towards there for waiting Nina Clarkin. Looks now to send Coddington on her way. Coddington it was going back. Good defensive play by Coddington to take away Fraufen is there now with Jackson. Jackson coming in, closing down Nina Clarkin. Clarkin, the packed crowd on the far side enjoying these early exchanges. It goes now for Clarkin with the backhand, looking for Coddington, but just coming across the line in front there of Hazel Jackson, who was there on the turn. Coddington just not quite quick enough on the turn. Nina Clarkin having a word. Don't give away the foul. Don't give Hazel Jackson the chance to get any kind of possession on the ball. So Hazel Jackson with the tap. Waiting for again is Nina Clarkin. Clarkin forcing Jackson into the long shot down the ground, but it's only going to go as far now as Lucy Coddington. Coddington looking to bring it away. She's got Phillips there close by, but Nina Clarkin coming back in. No, sorry, Rebecca Walters coming in, just making life difficult there for Coddington. Given their good play it was by Walters. The backhand played into Clarkin, and Clarkin meets it and looks to go. Phillips can't get to Clarkin as Clarkin runs round the outside. Nina Clarkin with the long drive over the halfway line. The play is really beginning to run now in this opening chuck as Hazel Jackson goes back. Jackson goes in for the near side play, left behind by Clarkin. Walters can't get the touch. Across now comes Gilman. Gilman running up towards the goal. Second chance of the game here as running up towards the goal, but good blocking play done there by Rebecca Walters. Walters with a shot across the goal, just gets a little bit stuck there, and it's going to be cleared away now by Hazel Jackson again for La Mariposa polo team. Hazel Jackson, just a little bit of space now, beginning to open up. Phillips makes her way down the ground, calling for the pass, but Hazel Jackson comes up there against Coddington. Coddington runs it round, but good play again by Jackson to get the play back. Long drive down the ground, the overlap is there, and it's Rebecca Walters now looking to go. It's Rebecca Walters' first big chance here for La Mariposa goes, and Rebecca Waters is just going wide to the left-hand side. Can she get the touch? Not quite in time. Rebecca Waters just sends it wide left under pressure from Nina Clarkin. Good attacking play. You saw the space really open up there. The long drive down the ground. It was by Hazel Jackson, but just ran out of space. So you see here, Lucy Connington, a chance to thank our sponsors there. You see the banner on the screen, Clenova. They had a great tournament, Clenova, in the 16-goal French Open Championship being played alongside this tournament as well. The final of that one taking place 3:30 French time. It really is a fantastic day here in Chantilly. The crowd, you see, beginning to fill up over on the far side next to the very impressive glass clubhouse. Nina Clarkin there. The rain is just beginning to fall. There's a few drops. It's been a beautiful couple of weeks of weather. The ground's holding up superbly here in Chantilly, but the conditions have been near perfect this morning. It's a cooler day, not quite so hot the temperature, but if the rain does begin to fall, we'll see how that does impact the play on it. Players being called back on to the ground. They are going to wait, but they're not going to wait too long. Nina Fraufen and Hazel Jackson riding back onto the field just off your screen, and we have a couple of minutes remaining here in the first of our 4 chukkers in this Ladies Open, and it is going to be Nina Clarkin to get us back underway for TTR Sotheby's. Clarkin with the tap. Gilman and Fuller, they wait down the ground to see if Clarkin can do it. You see there, just using this wonderful drone footage up the front, Margot Gilman, but instead she's gone left looking again for Coddington. Annalise has to be quick, but it looks like Lucy Coddington is a little bit quicker, and the ground just opened up for a second, but Hazel Jackson and Annalise Phillips between them, they just put the pressure on. So Hazel Jackson, this is where she is at her best. Now Nina Clarkin being stretched down the back of a play with Rebecca Waters going with her, and it's there with Hazel Jackson still fighting in between Phillips and Coddington. Good play there by Jackson, just taking it to the right-hand side, gives herself a bit of room again, and it's Hazel Jackson. She'll just play with this one all day long with the tap up towards the goal, blocked by Clarkin. The umpire's happy for play to continue. In there comes Phillips, and eventually cleared away by Nina Clarkin, and they survive this scare. We're going in for a final minute or so before the first buzzer goes in the opening chukker. Still scoreless here in the opening chukker. A real game of cat and mouse as Lucy Coddington, she goes back, draws the whistle from the umpire. We'll have a look on the instant replay. It looked like she did just come out there in front of Hazel Jackson as we have a look here. Jackson with the tap. Coddington just got drawn into that one, and it is going to be a close penalty. Probably a penalty too. They'll choose a 30-yard shot. As the raindrops begin to fall harder here. Hazel Jackson will be the player to come round. Take this 30-yard penalty. Still scoreless in this opening chukker. Can Hazel Jackson get her 19th goal of this tournament? Drawing level with Nina Clarkin with the 30, and it looks like it's good from here through the centre of the goal, and Hazel Jackson has the opening score of the French Open final here, and it is the 10-goaler Jackson with the number 4 on her shirt, coming back to the centre of the ground with the first score of the game. They've been under pressure, but Jackson's so clinical when she gets into those types of positions, so good at slowing the game down whilst the rest all seem to be rushing around as the ball goes back into play, as it's picked up there by Coddington. Given now to Jackson again on the near side, stealing in there in front of Lucy Coddington. The first buzzer's gone. 30 seconds remaining here in this opening of our 4 chukkers. And again, Hazel Jackson, look how she just brings that horse around to the left-hand side. Takes it now on herself. She uses there the blocker. Great play it was by Annalise Phillips to take away the player, allowing Hazel Jackson just to take it up. Oh, she's left it behind. The open backhand played. In now comes Phillips here in defence for TTR Sotheby's. Phillips backed up there well by Clarkin, looking to take on Jackson again. They run out of time. That is the end of the first of our 4 chukkers, and it's Lara Mariposa, thanks to that 30-yard penalty by Hazel Jackson, who lead this final 1-0 against TTR Sotheby's.
Hommes sur 10 préfèrent la bille Carbon Protect de L'Oréal Men Expert. Même les plus grands sportifs, une protection 48 heures pour affronter tous vos défis. Et pour garder le rythme, découvrez le nouveau soin anti-fatigue Hydra Énergétique. Votre peau est transformée, hydratée et énergisée. Faites l'essai L'Oréal Men Expert parce que vous le valez bien.
So welcome back here as we come out towards the second period of play. And just in that short interlude, the rain has got that little bit harder. Umbrellas are beginning to go up around the ground. The players, though, they will continue out there. These grounds, they're looking amazing considering the amount of polo we've had over the last 2.5 weeks or so, just outside of Paris here in Chantilly. Really is turning into one of the centres of polo around the world, and especially here in Europe, as we do bring an end to the European polo season with this weekend of polo here. It has been an amazing season. We've enjoyed covering polo from all around Europe. Stade, Deauville, as we were in a couple of weeks ago. Calgary Polo, of course, for the British Open. And then we've been here in Chantilly. As we come out now for the second period of play, La Mariposa, they lead courtesy of that 30-yard penalty from the stick of Hazel Jackson, her 19th goal of the tournament. They were under a lot of pressure, but they remain tight in defence, and they have an attacking position early on here with Hazel Jackson. Spinning it back round, looking to take on Clark, and Hazel Jackson with a shot towards the goal. And what a start that is to the second chukker by Hazel Jackson. And La Mariposa, you see here, Hazel Jackson under pressure, just brought that horse round. The big neck shot up towards the goal, showing her class, showing that reason she has for a long time now been considered right at the top of this discipline in the game. The ladies polo, 10 goals. 2 goals as well in the mixed levels. Nina Clarkenbo, see on this beautiful grey pony here in this second chukker. She will be just needing a couple of chances to get moving. She had that one safety 60. It's the ball now goes out towards Rebecca Waters. Waters picking it up now on the pass. Her chance to get going again here. Looking to take on Lucy Coddington. Coddington's there with the near side backhand. Turning onto it first will be Clarkin. Clarkin pushed out of it there by Jackson. Good defence at the front by Jackson. Picked up now by Margot Gilman. Called off the play, but it's only going to be as far as Hazel Jackson. Appealing for a foul was Nina Clarkin coming down the line. And the umpire, John Fisher, blows a whistle on the play. So we have a look here at the instant replay. Just spinning out left. Nina Clarkin was quick enough on it to get on that line in time. And it is going to be a penalty from the centre of the ground in favour here of Nina Clarkin. And the side in dark blue, TTR Sotheby's, finished the group games with a plus 20 goal difference after 2 games. So dominant in those victories. Nina Clarkin takes it out to the left-hand side of Rebecca Waters. Clarkin with the long drive down the ground. Hazel Jackson's got to be quick going back in defence. I think it's just going to get stuck there right in front of the goal. The tail backhand played by Jackson and turning onto it first. Good defensive play at the front by Gilman. The open backhand played again by Nina Clarkin, but it's just not quite running the distance as Hazel Jackson able to bring it back round here. Pushed at the front there by Laura Phillips, but Hazel Jackson takes it now to the right-hand side of Nina Clarkin again. Clarkin looking to stop Hazel Jackson, really getting involved further up the field than we've seen her in this tournament. Nina Clarkin knowing that they've got to stop the Hazel Jackson attack at the source as it's sent down the ground now looking for Rebecca Waters. The 2 5-goal players coming together as it's Waters to the left-hand side there of Lucy Coddington. And Coddington, she's done well initially, just couldn't quite find the distance on the clearing shot, so Rebecca Waters will have a chance here now for La Mariposa. Waters slows it down, sends the ball down the ground. You could see what she was looking there as it's picked up now again by Rebecca Waters, about 50 yards from goal. Waters just with the tap. All of the players coming into a bit of a crowd there as Hazel Jackson now sends the ball down the ground. Rebecca Waters, she'd continued the run. Back there's Nina Clarkin. What a defensive play that was by Nina Clarkin, turning it back round, but beating Laura Phillips to the play is Hazel Jackson. Jackson, the ball there on the near side. Getting into it there now is Nina Clarkin. Clarkin bringing it away. Nina Clarkin now taking it up towards her own 60. And the counter-attack is on. And look at the speed of Nina Clarkin who goes. It's Clarkin now for TTR Sotheby's. Can she reach back? She's just left it behind. And Waters called off the play by Jackson. Oh, a missed touch there by Jackson. Given out to Phillips. Phillips takes it up towards the back line. Nina Clarkin looking to help her teammate out. Good play by Clarkin. Better play by Phillips. Phillips putting it right up there for Clarkin. Clarkin with the tap and a great combination play between Nina Clarkin and Laura Phillips. And Nina Clarkin, she's got TTR Sotheby's on the play. And look how she just muscles Hazel Jackson out of her way. Comes back onto the play, scores the goal. It was wonderful play by Laura Phillips as well. And between them, TTR Sotheby's, they've pulled a goal back. 2-1 now. The lead is still there with La Mariposa. But Nina Clarkin pulls it back halfway through this second of our 4 chuckers. Coming back onto the play, Rebecca Waters. Ball goes back in. Waters gets a little touch on the play. The tail backhand played by Gilman. Looking now for Lucy Coddington, and Lucy Coddington, she's gone. It's Coddington being chased by Jackson. Coddington with the approach shot up towards the goal. It's looking good from here as Lucy Coddington levels it up, taking the ball out of the lineup. Lucy Coddington, wonderful play by her, and we're all tied up here. 2-2. Lucy Coddington running away there. She knew Hazel Jackson was in her slipstream, so just hit the ball out from about 30 yards out. And we are seeing some great polo here in the opening exchanges of the Ladies Open Final. Players back in the centre of the ground. Umpires lining them up. They will just wait for Hazel Jackson. give her the full 25 seconds that she's allowed as she comes back onto the play. She's given it, though, to Nina Clarkin, and they're gone again. And what a swing in momentum this will be if TTR Sotheby's can get it, but it's just left behind. Open backhand played by Jackson, followed up as well by Rebecca Waters. Waters looking to see if she can find Jackson on the run. She's been chased by Laura Phillips. This game really being opened up here in this second chukker as Jackson now, she will just slow it down. Taps the ball to the right-hand side. A lot of time here for Jackson. Jackson goes to the right-hand side of Lucy Coddington on a giant of a horse out here. Hazel Jackson towering over the others, but she manages to send the ball down the ground, looking for Rebecca Waters, and it's going to be there with Annalise as well. Annalise Phillips gets there, but I think the umpires are going to call that one back. Annalise Phillips coming through at speed. We'll have a look, though, on the instant replay. Nina Clarkin knew she had to be strong there. Annalise Phillips, she had to come in on the near side. It was a good effort by Annalise over from the US. Got a strong crowd supporting her as well here. Talking to them during the semi-finals. They are so excited to see Annalise playing out here. Reaching this final of the French Open. Great organisation, great team they've put together here throughout this couple of weeks. As it's here now with Nina Clarkin. Closing her down is Rebecca Waters, but Clarkin fancies her chances just to go out to the right-hand side. The defence at the front by Waters was good, but coming back around onto it there is Lucy Coddington. Rebecca Waters, she went for it all, came away with nothing as it's sent down the ground, looking for Clarkin. There's a whistle on the ground. Just wait and see what the umpires saw. I'm not sure there wasn't something off the play. I couldn't quite spot the foul there. May well have been excessive use of the whip. So I think, yeah, the umpire's just saying there was a little bit too much use of the whip. I think it was Hazel Jackson just off the play. So it's going to be a close penalty, and they're going to move it up to a 40-yarder. Maybe even a 30. No, it looks like a 40. So Nina Clarkin going off and changing as well. Just waiting for confirmation whether it is a penalty 2 or a penalty 3. Looks like Coddington with Nina Clarkin coming back onto the field of play. See if she will come in and take this penalty. More than capable, as we saw from that last goal she scored, of putting this one straight through. The penalty hit there by Lucy Coddington. Makes no mistake whatsoever. So the goal is scored. And TTR Sotheby's, they have pulled this one back. They were 2 goals down early on in this second chukker. But they've come back, and it's 2 goals by Lucy Coddington as well. Getting in on the act for 1 goal scored by Nina Clarkin. So as I mentioned, this is the end of the European season. Players already beginning to talk of Argentina, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, the US, of course. Do use Fly Polo and Travel, the tailor-made service for your travel around the polo world. We're delighted to have them as our sponsors here on Polo Line TV. But in this final, it's here with Nina Clarkin. Clarkin sending it up down the ground. Beaten though there by Hazel Jackson. Jackson fighting hard there is Lucy Coddington. Jackson just with a little tap to the right-hand side. Back to the first buzzer go. 30 seconds to go unless the umpire blows, which I believe he has. So that will bring an end to the first half of this Ladies Open final here in Chantilly. And it's been a great second chukker for the team in dark blue, TTR Sotheby's. I'm not sure they heard the whistle go after the bell, so they will just confirm that, or maybe not. Maybe it was a case of the whistle before the bell. So we're just going to confirm. Yep, it looks like they're going to drop the ball on the ground, so we will have one more play here in this second chukker as we just have a look on this instant replay as well, as it goes in favour of Hazel Jackson. It was Margot Gilman. They had to give Jackson the space. And it is going to be Hazel Jackson to come around and take this penalty 5B. So let's see if they can just force one more opportunity here. Hazel Jackson taps it up towards Nina Clarkin. Clarkin forcing Hazel Jackson into the long drive. That is the game plan. But Rebecca Waters, she's come round with the next shot towards the goal. She has a look. It's looking good from here. And what a score that is from Rebecca Waters, the 5-goal player with the score. Hazel Jackson forced into the long shot down the ground with the presence of Nina Clarkin. But what an under the neck shot that was by Rebecca Waters. So we are all tied. 3 goals all here at the end of the second chukker. We are at the halfway point. We will have a little bit of a break and play. But what a first half it has been of the ladies' French Open final here. La Mariposa, TTR Sotheby's, we're all tied. 3 goals all.
Sí, es un torneazo, la verdad, de 18 equipos, asperísimo, las canchas están tremendas. Vienen jugadores y organizaciones de Inglaterra, de Sotorande, de todos lados. Es un muy lindo torneo para jugar. Por suerte hemos jugado bastante contra Kazakh, acá en Sotorande no, pero en Saint-Tropez el año pasado también, acá el año pasado. Es un equipo que tiene mucha buena onda, así que nada, va a ser un partidazo y no vamos a jugar todo, pero nada, va a ser un partido muy lindo para jugar. Casi siempre jugamos, Santi, Niki y yo en el equipo, que está tremendo y nada, vamos cambiando de jugadores, pero a Benja lo conocemos, a Tommy Ferrari en Sotorande lo conocíamos, con Pedro que jugamos en Francia lo conocíamos, con Manolo que también jugamos en Francia conocemos casi todos los jugadores. Que está buenísimo eso, tratamos de hacer equipos divertidos, que nos llevemos bien, que la pasemos bien más que todo, obviamente que sean competitivos. Todos los caballos que juego son de papá y de Niki, así que nada, yo solamente juego, pero sin los caballos no voy a ningún lado, así que nada, quería agradecer muchísimo a Niki que me banca siempre muchísimo en todo, y nada, papá también en Argentina, en todos lados que me da caballos. También es tremendo para mí.
So welcome back here to the second half. What a first half we've had. Real exciting first half of polo. La Mariposa, they led at the end of the first chukker. 1-0, and then Hazel Jackson scored a great neck shot right at the beginning of the second. And they were out in front, and then 3 quick goals by TTR Sotheby's put them out in front, and then that last second goal. And what a goal that was by Rebecca Walters. With the neck shot, we see there in the La Mariposa set, Annalise Phillips, Nina Fraufen, really supporting their teammates well. We do have a game later on coming from Argentina as well. Check what time that is depending on your time zone. The Abierto del Jockey Club Copa Thai Polo. Been covering it here on Polo Line with a live game each of the days as well on Polo Line TV. Real shout out to the team covering that tournament over in Argentina. Your commentator Andres, so good out there the way in which he announces those games. La Mariposa 3, TTR Sotheby's 3 here. 2 field goals apiece, very even in the throw-ins. TTR Sotheby's, you score and run away from one of them as well and grab the score. Pretty clean game as well. John Fisher out there officiating this game incredibly well, just for 3 fouls apiece. Very good from the penalty spot as well. 1 for each of her sides. Nina Clark, and she missed a safety 60 early on in the contest. And a lovely clean game as well. No yellow cards. Yeah, the American audience, the crowd cheering their team, La Mariposa, back in from Minneapolis. Many of the crowd. Wonder if you are beginning to wake up over in the US as well for your early breakfast on the East Coast in particular. Do let us know what you are thinking of your side going as well. Laura Phillips as well. So a lot of American representation in this contest. And we're back underway in this second half. The tail backhand played by Nina Clarkin. Clarkin looking for Coddington. She's crowded out, though, very quickly there by Hazel Jackson as La Mariposa. They look to go again. Jackson to the right-hand side there of Coddington. Jackson went for it all, but just left it behind. And Nina Fraufen called off the play now by Rebecca Walters. Walters again, so good with this next shot. Nina Clarkin knew she had to get in there, and she did. Just got a little touch on the backhand, gets a little bit scrappy now, but clearing it through is Jackson with the shot towards the goal. It's just stuck there in front of goal. I think we've had a whistle on the ground. Jackson it was coming through, just asking for an explanation from John Fisher. We've got the benefit of the drone here. Hit it into the body there of Clarkin. It was Rebecca Walters and Nina Clarkin riding across, and it's been given in favour of TTR Sotheby's. Umpire just continuing to explain to Jackson the cause of the penalty there. I think it was Rebecca Walters just running the player across there. They did just get out of the way there of Rebecca Walters. You've got to give the first player heading towards the player in possession for space. So it's here now with Nina Clarkin. You see there to the left-hand side, they all went, so she instead chooses to go right. Nina Clarkin now taking on Rebecca Walters again. Hazel Jackson, she's coming in, so Clarkin just checks up. Look how she brings that horse back under control so well. Nina Clarkin, Rebecca Walters closing down the space. So Nina Clarkin goes back to the right-hand side again, still here with Clarkin. Rebecca Walters not giving her any space to breathe. Tenacious defending by Rebecca Walters, but Clarkin, she'd spotted the gap, and it's here now with Phillips. Phillips couldn't quite get a hang of a ball there as it breaks back down here for Hazel Jackson. Jackson with the tap to the right-hand side. There goes Rebecca Walters. Going back is Lucy Coddington. Coddington, she will get there on the near side. The near side backhand played. Oh, it's met. Look at that by Hazel Jackson, but they've brought her back. It looked like we may get one of Hazel Jackson's highlight reel goals there, but John Fisher quick onto it. It did look like Nina Clarkin had quickly turned it on the line. She knew exactly what was coming. You can see clearly there Jackson did indeed come across. So it's going to be a penalty shot in favour of TTR Sotheby's. Nina Clarkin thinks it's going to go up towards the 60. John Fisher, where's he going to place it? He is going to go up. So it is going to be up towards the 60. Clarkin was gone. So you can see why that decision has been made. So it's penalty for 60-yard shot. And this will be right up Nina Clarkin Street. Chance here to put her side back out in front Lucy Connington, you saw take a 30-yarder earlier in the game, but you fancy from the 60-yard spot Nina Clarkin. She will pull rank here and have the chance to get her side back in front early on here in this third and penultimate chukker. Clarkin then, oh, she didn't get the clean contact. It may yet work out for them. It's Clarkin coming back to it with a shot at the goal. Jackson appealing for a foul, and this time it goes in favour of the light blue shirts of La Mariposa. Clarkin didn't get hold of it at all. Deflected off the pony of Lucy Connington. Jackson got an important touch there, claiming that line for herself. So it's going to be a penalty down the other end. Penalty 5B, you reckon this one will be? 3:30 French time. We have the final of the French Open, and what a game that one promises to be. Kazakh Nico Perez and his side, they take on Santi Chavan Aminara with his son Lorenzo Chavan, Benja Panello as well. So Hazel Jackson will be the player coming round to take this penalty 5B. As always, Rebecca Walters staying close by. Nina Clarkin again, the player who will be coming up towards Hazel Jackson. So Nina Clarkin, Hazel Jackson didn't get the clean contact on the drive either, but she will get another chance at this one. Nina Clarkin waits close by as Hazel Jackson just taps the ball underneath the pony there of Clarkin. Clarkin's going to have to be careful. Nina Clarkin pushes Hazel Jackson out the play, and she will get there on the near side. Look how she just eases Jackson out the way, brings it back round on the near side, and Clarkin shows her class. Running to the left-hand side there is Margot Gilliman. Up the front is Connington, but the umpire, I should say, John Fisher, eventually just runs out of patience, waiting for them to clear out of the way. And it will go down the ground. We'll see whether it's going to be a penalty 5B this time. Yes, it is. So the game just slowing down a little bit here in this third and penultimate chukker. All three is on the board out there. See JP Clark in there. As I mentioned, New Zealand's top player supporting Nina Clarkin here. Such a great organisation, so well mounted. Of course, Nina Clarkin, part of the Vesti family as well, so the horse quality that they bring is up there with the very best in the world. As Clarkin just comes through, Annalise Phillips just got a little bit stuck on the line there, so Nina Clarkin will take it up. You would say this one will probably go up to a 40 or a 30. So having not seen many fouls in the first two chukkers, a bit more whistle drawn here. But it's Nina Clarkin who's beginning to dominate this game. And Lucy Connington teeing the ball up. It's going to be a 30-yard penalty. And it looks like she will indeed be the one to take this penalty. So Lucy Connington, top scorer for her side in this game, 2 of the goals. Great neck shot running out of the line out to go with her 30-yard earlier in the day as well. Connington comes up to it and score. No, it's wide to the left-hand side. It was so close, but wide left there by Lucy Connington. So we remain here tied, 3 goals all. This hotly contested French Open final out here in Chantilly. Hazel Jackson looking to get going quickly again. Rebecca Walters on the run down the ground. The ball pops up over the board, so it will be TTR Sotheby's ball again. So here they come, TTR Sotheby's, with the shot down the ground, but Jackson waiting out the back is able to pick the ball up from play. Jackson now with the tap to the right-hand side. Rebecca Walters, all she thought about going, instead stays close. Nina Clarkin in between the two of them, so she's got to be careful as her pass now does go down the ground looking for Rebecca Walters. She did enough to put Clarkin off, and it's Hazel Jackson now. Hazel Jackson for that. Oh, she's left it behind. Both these sides with their chances. Rebecca Walters looking to give it back to Hazel Jackson. Jackson comes out back across, taps the ball to the right-hand side of Nina Clarkin. Lucy Coddington, she gets a tap on the ball, but the Larry Mariposa attack here really dialing up the pressure, but the horse didn't help Hazel Jackson out there, and that allows Nina Clarkin to clear the ball away, and the counter-attack now on here for TTR Sotheby's, and Nina Clarkin just leaves the ball back behind her. Who's going to find the play now? It's going to be there with Lucy Coddington. Hooked up the play well there by Rebecca Walters, and it falls again for Hazel Jackson. Hazel Jackson running up back there in defence will be Nina Clarkin, though Jackson just slows the ball back down. This is where she is so good in this game, how she's able just to slow the ball, keep her calm here. Hazel Jackson with the shot towards the goal, but it looks like it's just rolled wide to the left-hand side. Rebecca Walters tried to apply the finishing touch, but couldn't quite find the all-important touch at goal. So it will be TTR Sotheby's with the ball on the back line. Just about 3 minutes to go here in this third chukker. Can either side, we've had a lot of chances here in the third, but still scoreless so far. Nina Clarkin, she's just looking around to her husband JP there, seeing if he's got any advice to give in this brief interlude in this third chukker. Together, of course, part of the Hildon Sports side. The first lady player to win the British Open Championship, alongside Mark and Luke Tomlinson as well. And it took up until this year when we saw Kaylee Smith playing with UAE. All of that action was brought to you here on Polo Line TV before the second female player to get her hands on the all-important British Open trophy as well. Now Nina Clarkin with the shot out to the left-hand side, looking to see if she has the chance to run. I wonder if this was the tactic that JP was telling her to go for there in the tent. Instead slows it down. She's got runners out in front of her if she chooses to use it. Laura Phillips, she's there. Margot Gilman, she's up the ground as well, as it's here though still with Nina Clarkin. Nina Clarkin with the near side shot, under pressure all the way there from Rebecca Walters. Walters has to be quick. Nina Clarkin wasn't quite quick enough to beat Walters, and it breaks now for Hazel Jackson in defence. Spinning it back round, looking to take on Phillips now as Nina Clarkin takes it out to the right-hand side. Sorry, Hazel Jackson takes it out to the right-hand side. Nina Clarkin chasing her every step of the way. Hazel Jackson with the drive into the pony, but it's stolen away once again there by Nina Clarkin. Clarkin taps it underneath the pony of Jackson, and the umpires blowing a whistle on the play. John Fisher just deciding there that Hazel Jackson comes across, not happy with the stick coming out. I think there was a stirrup lost as well. So they will give Rebecca Walters, did very well to keep on going there, Rebecca Walters, with the one stirrup. Such a strong rider, of course, Rebecca. So we have a look at John Fisher, just helping to get that stirrup back tucked into the saddle. We'll be back underway in this French Open final, the first of our 3 live games, 2 of them here from Chantilly, 1 over in Argentina, the Jockey Club Open as well later on today. There's going to be a penalty in favour again of TTR Sotheby's. Was Hazel Jackson just a little overzealous in her attempts to stop Nina Clarkin at source? Stepping up once again though to take this 30-yard penalty, it will be Lucy Coddington. Scored 1, and then that last one just went wide, but confidence being shown in her, so reliable from this position. The 5-goal player, Lucy Coddington, coming round to take this penalty shot. Coddington then with the penalty. No mistake at all this time round. That one is straight through the centre, undefended. But even if it was defended, they wouldn't stop it. Lucy Coddington gets her third goal of this final. And what a final she is having. The 5-goal player for TTR Sotheby's. She's a teammate of Nina Clarken's throughout much of the ladies' season around the world. And as a double act, they are so successful as well. I was talking to them at the Chantilly Polo Party a couple of nights ago about how much it means for them to both to be playing together in this tournament here in France. And it's here now with Laura Phillips. Phillips, her chance now to take on Hazel Jackson, who goes back in defence. Jackson with the defence. Good play it was by Nina Fraufen as well, going back to help her out as it's there with Jackson. Sends it out left again, looking for Rebecca Walters. Met well there by Lucy Coddington, who got the hook in and now leaves it for her captain, Nina Clarken. Clarken with the open backhand, and Phillips is gone. Her big chance here now in this final. Going back with her is Jackson. She's also got Margot Gilman to think about behind as Gilman takes it out to the left-hand side, but crowded out first by Jackson. Walters, nothing on the backhand play as it's picked up now by Clarken. Clarken to the left-hand side of Jackson. Jackson fighting hard. The two 10-goal players coming together again as it's Hazel Jackson who takes it out from tight space and comes away with the players. We hear the first buzzer go. Shot down the ground it is by Hazel Jackson. Back there is Coddington. The tail backhand play, and what a play that is. She knew exactly where Nina Clarken was going to be as Clarken just puts it too close there to Jackson. Jackson called for the tail backhand. It goes into the ponies. Rebecca Walters beaten to it. No, she gets there in front of Nina Clarken. Spins it back round. They're not going to have time to get down the other end of the ground, but they need to make up some territory here as Rebecca Walters does just that. There goes the second buzzer. One chukker remains in this Ladies Open final. La Mariposa, they trail 4-3 against Nina Clarken and her TTR Sotheby's team. We will be back in just a couple of minutes for the final chukker of the French Open final. TTR Sotheby's 4, La Mariposa 3.
La passion. La compétence. L'exclusivité. Le choix dans chaque détail. Le goût des dépassements des soi, du challenge. L'attrait pour la compétition, dans ce qu'elle a de plus noble. L'esprit d'équipe pour atteindre un objectif commun. Autant de valeurs que Engelfökers partage avec l'univers du polo et autant de valeurs que nos conseillers Engelfökers défendent chaque jour sur leur terrain d'expertise. Être à votre écoute, vous accompagner et vous satisfaire, c'est notre challenge en chaque instant.
So TTR Sotheby's leading this final 4-3. Welcome back from all around the world here on Polo Line TV. Can that team in dark blue. What a moment this is for Margot Gilman. You see coming back onto field. A name synonymous with everything that is French polo, the Gilman family name. And it is great to see young Margot Gilman playing in this French Open final. Brought into this team just before the tournament. It's Laura Phillips and Lucy Connington and Nina Clarkin plotted the best way, the best chance to give themselves to come home with this French Open. JP Clarkin there. He's on the stick duties and the coaching duties out here in this final chukker. We saw him have a great season over in the UK as part of Yojo Caliente's side. Ana Escobedo covered many of their games throughout the 15 and 18 goal levels here on Polo Line TV. But now it is the time of Nina Clarkin, who comes into this final chukker. Goal to the good, but La Mariposa and Hazel Jackson, they're looking to tie us up straight away here. Jackson taking on Clarkin. Clarkin, ooh, just got a touch, but Hazel Jackson, what composure by Jackson with the shot towards the goal, but it just goes out to the right-hand side. She's going to have a chance to come back on for play. Still here now with Jackson. Nina Clarkin still there with Jackson. Jackson edging it up towards the goal. Can Annalise get the final touch? Just came across the line there in front of Nina Clarkin, drawing the whistle from the crowd. From the umpires, sorry. Frustration again. We saw her score a goal earlier on in the day. Annalise Phillips, that was pulled back, chalked off by the umpires, and this time you could clearly see there a similar reasoning for that other foul committed as well. She had to play the near side shot. So TTR Sotheby's with the ball on the back line. Remember, 3:30 French time. We have the final of the mixed French Open. Katie Sen, she will be playing with her Amanara side in that final. And what a game that promises to be. Make sure you tune in for that one on Polo Line TV as well, as the ball just breaks out the back of the lineup. Turning onto it first there is Nina Clarkin. Clarkin with a shot into the open space, and this is not what La Mariposa wanted to see. Clarkin, though, has both Jackson and Walters to deal with. Does she have the speed to run round the outside? It's Clarkin she chooses just to check back instead. It's Nina Clarkin here, looking to go to the right-hand side here of Hazel Jackson. Clarkin with the long drive. Ooh, she's appealing for a foul. Nina Fraufen, she just did come across there, so we're going to have a look to see what the umpires saw here. You saw there the number 2 in La Mariposa. She didn't quite see Nina Clarkin coming. So John Fisher blowing a strong whistle on the play there, and it looks like it is going to go in favour of TTR Sotheby's. And it's going to be a 40-yard penalty. Yeah, it looks like a 40, maybe a 30. Yeah, 30. Just looking out there. So a big chance here for TTR Sotheby's. So Nina Fraufen it was, just coming across in front of Nina Clarkin. Fouls mounting up a little bit in this second half. As the shot hit up towards the goal, it's through the goal, and it's Lucy Connington. Goal number 4 for Lucy Connington. It has been a near perfect performance from the number 3 for TTR Sotheby's. And this one again, never in doubt, straight through the centre of the goal. And when they needed her to keep her calm, she did just that. The players come back to the centre of the field. And they know now they are within touching distance. Not long remaining. Remember, we play the HPA rules here in France. So if either side is out in front, as TTR Sotheby's currently find themselves, when you hear that first buzzer, it will be the end of this contest. If we're tied, we'll go into overtime as the ball goes out the back. Picked up now by Lucy Connington with the tap to the right-hand side. Good play there by Annalise Phillips. Gives it to her teammate Hazel Jackson, spinning it round on the turn. They're now looking again for Rebecca Walters. It's not quite going to reach her, and Nina Clarkin able to pounce onto it. Lovely under the next shot played by Clarkin. Quick reading it though was Jackson with the open backhand, looking for Rebecca Walters. Walters with the shot up towards the goal, but going back quickly there in defence is Clarkin. Clarkin taking it out towards the boards. Nina Clarkin knows time is in her favour. She'll likely play it conservative here, just slow it down. Rebecca Walters runs past it, as does Jackson. Across comes Rebecca Walters, drawn right into it. Umpire John Fisher with the strong blow of the whistle. You could see exactly what Nina Clarkin was thinking here. Just taps it out there They're not going to let her have that one. They've got to take the risk for La Mariposa in the light blue, but they're not going to get away with it, and it's going to be a spot hit penalty in favour of TTR Sotheby's as the clock just starts to put the pressure on this light blue shirted side. They were down, though, worth saying, in the semi-final by a similar deficit. They came back at about this point of the game, so don't count them out yet. Nina Clarkin sends it up to Coddington. Coddington looks to send it down the ground. She's going to hope it stays in play, but it doesn't. Goes up overboard, so there is going to be another chance here for the team in light blue. Hazel Jackson with the tap, giving herself a little bit of space. Now sends it up down the ground, looking to see if she can find Rebecca Walters, but reading it well there was, ooh, Coddington, she read it, but she left it behind, and Walters with the tap towards the goal. The goal, no, across comes Clarkin. Clarkin with the near side backhand. We're going to have a look if the umpires say anything. No, play will continue, last-ditch defending, but it's coming back again at them. Again, across comes Clarkin. Again, the umpire says play on, or do they? Yes, they do. It's Nina Clarkin coming away, and when they needed their 10-goal captain to save them in defence, she's done just that. And now she's going to look to go down the other end of the ground. Clarkin, the horse just jumps up over the white lines. She keeps on going. She's being chased now by Hazel Jackson, but this could be game if Nina Clarkin can find a way towards the goal. Clarkin slows it back down. Still here now with Clarkin. Jackson claiming that she has the right to be there. Umpire, though, John Fisher says otherwise. Frustration continues to mount here for La Mariposa. They wanted a whistle down the other end. The umpires didn't give it, and again, it's going to be in favour of TTR Sotheby's. The players going off, taking a chance to change onto fresh ponies. John Fisher explaining to Hazel Jackson what he saw, why he saw it. Hazel can't believe it. John Fisher just telling her to calm down there. Hazel's not happy. But Nina Clarkin, you see in their shot there. What a play that was by Nina Clarkin. Year after year, she comes back. These young players. Hazel Jackson. Hope Arellano, of course, the young American, gone up to 10 over in America as well. Leah Salvo. They certainly are putting on the pressure in terms of players getting to the 9-10 goal handicap level. But Nina Clarkin, when the pressure is on, she always seems to be the one to pull off those winning moments. Lucy Coddington, can she get her 5th goal of this game? Coddington with the 30-yard penalty. Easy as you like. She did miss for 1 penalty too in this contest, but other than that, she has been perfect. 4 out of 5 to go with her 1 goal from the open play as well. The 1 goal scored by Nina Clarkin. But Lucy Coddington, what a performance she has put on. And with under 3 minutes to go now in this open final, it does look like it is going to be the team in dark blue, TTR Sotheby's, who will be the French Open champions for 2023, barring a late miraculous comeback. And they do have the players capable of it, especially with this player on the ball, Hazel Jackson. Nina Clarkin doesn't want to give her any chance. No fouls will be the order of the day for the team in dark blue. Hazel Jackson sending it down, and the defence has been split open here. It's Rebecca Walters. Can she make it 4-6 and put her side in within a shot? Yes, she does. Rebecca Walters, so clinical in front of goal. And the crowd from Minneapolis again to my right-hand side, they are cheering, and it is a goal for the light blue shirts of La Mariposa. 6-4. Do they have time? Can they get this game back level? 1.5 minutes just over until you will hear that buzzer go. That will bring an end to this Ladies Open. The Open de Féminine here in France, in Chantilly, on this big bumper Sunday of polo. Both finals being brought to you live on Polo Line TV. Hazel Jackson, she needed it. She's got it. She turns it back round. Rebecca Waters calls for a pass. It gets delivered, but look how quickly Lucy Connington spotted it for tail backhand into the body of Rebecca Waters. Can they force the goal here, or will Nina Clarkin get it? Nina Clarkin appealing for the foul, and she's going to get it as well. Frustration, I think this one is going to be for La Mariposa. We'll wait and see if the umpires saw the same. We'll have a look on the instant replay. Nina Clarkin turning round onto it. Oh, they may say she was a little hard in her ride-off. Nope, John Fisher does decide it's going to go in favour of TTR Sotheby's. Clarkin quick onto the line. 6-4 is that the end of the comeback. You just wondered there as Hazel Jackson had the potential of the pass up to Rebecca Waters, but it deflected where they didn't want it to, and it deflected to the player they really didn't want it to. It was Lucy Connington with a great tail clearing backhand, and then Nina Clarkin coming up that line. The long drive down the ground by Clarkin, looking to get them running straight away. Jackson meets it, and Jackson they go, and they've got the 2-on-1 now. It's Hazel Jackson. Nina Clarkin, you feel like she will just do the conservative play here. Try not to get the whistle, not let the clock stop the play. And Hazel Jackson, oh, she looked to go on the run out the outside. It wasn't quite the play she was looking for. Rebecca Waters meets it. Waters with a shot towards a goal, and she's found it, Rebecca Waters. 6-5. Is she going to get a chance here to come back into this game? The players, they will come back. Rebecca Waters, she has had a great final as well. The 2 5-goal players, we're just going to check how long there is left, and there is no time left. That is the victory. The French Open has been won by TTR Sotheby's. La Mariposa, what an effort they put in those final seconds. But TTR Sotheby's, on the back of a great performance by their 5-goaler, Lucy Connington, of course, the 10-goal player, Nina Clarkin, but a real shout-out as well to the supporting class and Margot Gilman, Laura Phillips, La Mariposa. They couldn't quite do it at the end. They put up a great effort as well. But you have a look there at the score progression. La Mariposa, they led at the end of a first. We were tied at the end of a second. Then TTR Sotheby's, they took control, winning out this game 6-5. Both the sides will be very proud of a day's work here. The crowd showing their appreciation out to my right-hand side. They know how hard their La Mariposa side fought. But TTR Sotheby's, off the work throughout the tournament done by 10-goal player Nina Clarkin, they did look the more composed. They looked like they would be the side that would make it count in the end, and they did just that. What a tournament it has been. Do check out Polo Line for Chuck Wrap as well to see exactly how the tournament ran throughout. But it is both of these sides who came undefeated into this final. What a moment it is as well for Margot Gilman. You see there in the number 1 shirt, the young French player winning her Open tournament on home soil. Laura Phillips as well in the number 2 over from America. So happy to be here. And Nina Clarkin and Lucy Connington, the 2 UK players, 5 and 10 goals wherever they go in the ladies' discipline of this game. They are always there or thereabouts in the final stages, and they add the French Open to their list of accolades. JP Clarkin there in the tent, helping manage the operation as well. And very well deserved for TTR Sotheby's. The supporting cast in the tent, they will have enjoyed that. And it is Nina Clarkin. Oh, JB, look at that. He had the bottle ready to go in the tent. Noe and Chandon, one of the title sponsors here. JB, he's enjoying that one. Obviously won at all the very top levels around the world. He will be enjoying having the chance to offer his congratulations. Margot Gilman, great performance. She had a great chance earlier on in the game, but the work that she did for her side as well, taking the congratulations there of Laura Phillips in the TTR Sotheby's tent. They will be reflecting on a job well done, and they will be looking forward, as are we on Polo Line TV now, to the mixed game. Katie Sen, she will be part of that mixed final. It could be a great day for the ladies' version of the game out here in Chantilly. We have a look at some of the instant replays, the highlights of this game. Hazel Jackson, a big under the neck shot goal. That was right at the beginning of the second chukker. Here, this was great work by Laura Phillips. Look how she just sent the pass back up to Nina Clarkin, who took away the player there, putting on the pressure in Hazel Jackson. That's actually the only score for Clarkin today. It was then Lucy Coddington. She took control of the scoring. That was a great play by Lucy Coddington, knowing that Hazel Jackson was there right behind her, so just hit it up towards the goal. Rebecca Walters, she got some great goals. This one in the final chukker, you wondered whether, sorry, no, that was the end of the second chukker, right at the end before the halfway point, bringing it back level as it was then. We'll have a look at the stats here before we leave you for our first of 3 games at the day. 4 field goals out of 5 for La Mariposa, 2 for TTR Sotheby's, 6 throw-ins, 1 by Sotheby's, 7 by La Mariposa. Just 1 too many fouls by La Mariposa for penalties. They were pretty good by both of these sides. But from all of us here covering the final, we will leave you with the shots fair of Nina Clarkin taking the congratulations in the tent, and she has added the French Open for 2023 to a long list of accolades throughout the year. With her sidekick there, Lucy Coddington is there, and we will wrap it up here, and we will see you at 3:30 for the mixed